like that.
Yes, classic scene right there with Jaime King from the 2004 comedy White Chicks.
Well, get excited because Jaime is here today. Welcome back, our friend, Jaime King.
Jaime, how you doing?
Look at the white
Nice to see you.
So good to see you. You look so good. Come on in, my love. I want to do that dance, but I won't do it.
Jaime smells fantastic, by the way.
Look at the white boots and the whole thing. She always brings it.
So you still bust out those moves every once in a while?
Like
the whitest moves ever?
Yeah.
The best.
When we rehearsed that for so long, and then Keenan was like, "Oh my God, you guys are dancing too good. What are the whitest moves you can do?"
Oh, wow.
So I was like, "I don't know, the running man, the sprinkler." Like, so we had to change the whole routine last minute because he's like, "No, it's not. It's
too good."
You know what's great? We were on the carpet with you back in 2004. Roll this and tell us what you remember. Look at you.
OMG.
Whoa.
Wait, first of all, that's so cute.
That was Valentino.
That was a Valentino?
Yeah.
And what do you remember about like that time in your life and what was going on?
I mean, I remember I went from White Chicks to then go do Sin City. And it was an interesting time in my life as an actor, you know, because I was really like, all of a sudden like discovered and realized like the responsibility. Like in the beginning, there was no hierarchy.
Yeah.
So I could just act freely without the worry of like it would all fall on my shoulders. And like during that time, I was really starting to like figure out like really how the industry worked, you know.
What about White Chicks too? Everybody said they're on board. We can update the dance moves or leave them the same. Any thought of that? Whatever we need. Yeah.
We're all here.
Yeah.
We're here.
But Terry Crews and Marlon Wayans were like, absolutely.
Yes, yeah.
Would you do it?
100%. They're fam. Come on, anything for family.
That's so great.
It'd be so fun. Oh my God, that'd be so fun. I'd really like to do a comedy. I feel like the world needs more
You're
comedy
good at
right
it.
now.
We need that. Yes.
We need it right now.
You've said, Jaime, I think I've read that one of your toughest role to conquer just in life is that of motherhood, too. And you've been pretty vocal about that. Why is that?
I'm very vocal about it because when I was basically 26 years old, I got pregnant for the first time and lost that baby and went through so many miscarriages. And I felt like some part of me was broken, really. It's like, I don't know what it is about being a woman, but there's this idea that like, you know, our gift or whatever is to be able to, you know, to give birth to children. And I was very sick and no one could figure out what was going on. And essentially I ended up being diagnosed with endometriosis and PCOS and adenomyosis. And I remember when I first spoke publicly about it and I did like the cover for People magazine, I panicked afterwards. For those like 3 months before the cover came out, I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Because it was so stigmatized. You know, it was such a stigma.
Like a failure way
yeah,
back
because
then.
nobody was talking about it. You know what I mean? But then I knew if no one's talking about this, and I'm, you know, like in a position where I'm privileged enough to have health care, and I went to 9 different doctors just to get this diagnosis, like someone's got to say something, you know, because then I realized how many women had it. So like over 50% of women have this and it goes undiagnosed. And I'm sure that many people that are watching it or many people that have children in their own relationships have experienced the loss of a child. And it's something I think it's really important to discuss. And especially, you know, women's health care is radically broken, especially if you're in marginalized communities. And it's just, you know, it's something that's deeply important to me, which is why I became the director of impact at Allara.
Yeah, good for you.
Tell us about investing in Alara. This is so important. And as a mother of daughters, too, going forward, I love all of this for all my girlfriends.
Alara is essentially the first online platform for women's reproductive issues, specifically with PCOS. So it's very holistic. So you have your doctors, you have nutrition, you have life coaching, you have a community. Because when you have this disease, it's really what I would call like a silent disease. And it's something that, you know, affects you across the board, not only like physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And, you know, like I have a really tough time with the way that healthcare has been sorely lacking in terms of taking care of women, especially if you're a person of color. And so something like this provides, for the first time ever, you know, women the opportunity to be heard and seen and diagnosed and felt and cared for. And it's just something that I'm just like, it makes me want to cry because this is something that I've been thinking about for over a decade.
Wow.
And so I'm very, very thankful.
Good for you. That's awesome to raise the awareness level, and because so many people do experience, so many women do experience it,
Yes.
and might be afraid to talk about it. This is great. Good for you.
Or they don't know that they have it because, again, they're not diagnosed, right? They're not seen in the same way.
Jamie, how are the boys? What are
so
their
good,
ages? What are they up to?
Oh, my God, what are they not up to? They're very artsy, very bohemian, very specific about their choices.
Oh, I love that.
This one's making like a stop-mo film right now, James Knight.
How old is he?
He's 8.
And he's making a film.
Yeah, so he did 209 perler bead, Pokemon perler beads. He was like, can you call Netflix because I want it to be on next week. I was like, calm down, son. Calm down, you got to create your own IP. You know? And Leo Thames is, we're writing a movie where he's going to play a SWAT guy. He wants to be the first kid SWAT guy.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
But their godmothers are Taylor Swift and Jessica Alba.
Yes, and Emma Comley.
So how are they fulfilling their roles? How was that? And how'd you go about choosing?
Jess and I have been friends for a very, very long time, and she was the first one of us to have a baby, you know, and...
It's always that first friend. It's funny when you look at what they did, and I think how I reacted to them until you have your own, you're like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, and I didn't know what I was doing. Nobody knows what they're doing. It's like you're like, The
hospital lets you leave, and you're like, are you sure?
Like, you're like,
you know what the first one.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you guys know it's crazy. And so she's just always been there for me. And with Taylor, she just was the right one. She was just the person I felt like would be dedicated to him.
Does he love her music? Is he ever like, yeah, that's
No, he's like, I don't have any idea.
Right.
Honestly, that's facts. He's not interested in seeing me on TV. They're not interested in hearing that music. They're just like, whatever, get over yourself.
That means you're doing it right. That means that's a good thing right there. Jaime King, we got her in studio.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Great to see you, Jamie. Congrats.
Thank you.